Hello everyone, welcome back to DrayTek Australia and New Zealand. My name's Darren and I'm excited to introduce you to the DrayTek Vigor C510 series routers, a fantastic lineup designed to bring exceptional performance and flexibility to your home or office network. So what sets these routers apart? Let's take a look. The Vigor C510 series routers are broadband, 5G cellular and Ethernet VPN security routers suitable for small to medium-sized businesses. Two models are available. These are the base model Vigor C510 with 5G LTE and Ethernet WAN features, and the Vigor C510AX, which in addition includes Wi-Fi 6 capability. Let's start by looking at some of the key features of the Vigor C510 5G series routers. Firstly, they are 5G 4G LTE routers, which you might have guessed from the name, with a dual nano SIM slot and a gigabit WAN port. The AX wireless model is Wi-Fi 6 enabled with AX3000 performance. These are also VPN routers offering up to 4 VPN tunnels, and they can also be centrally managed by Vigor ACS3. In the box you'll find a registration card, the router, a power pack, antennas for both the LTE and the Wi-Fi in the 11AX model, an Ethernet cable, mounting hardware, and an installation guide. Here's more detail of the router's rear panel. Starting at number 1, we have the two dual-band Wi-Fi antennas available in the AX model. There is also a third internal PIFA antenna, which I'll come back to in a minute. Next, at number 2, we have the blue-coloured gigabit Ethernet WAN port. Next to this, at number 3, we have port P1, which can be configured as either a WAN port or a LAN port. The next 3 ports, P2 to P4, are fixed gigabit LAN ports. At number 5, there's a dual SIM card slot, which can accommodate 2 nano SIM cards. These cards are placed on the carrier before being inserted into the SIM slot. Finally, at number 6, we have the 2 external cellular antennas located on the sides of the router. If we go back to this view, that's these guys. In addition, there are also 2 internal PIFA antennas for the LTE. PIFA stands for Planar Inverted F Antenna, and they are the same types of antennas you'll find in smartphones. They look like little circuit boards. Here inside, you can see those PIFA antennas here and here. And if we zoom in here, we can see the third Wi-Fi PIFA antenna in the 11AX model. The C510 series routers run the newer DrayOS 5 operating system. Setting up your Vigor C510 is simple. You'll find a user-friendly web interface that walks you through the configuration steps, whether you're connecting via Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Plus, the intuitive mobile app allows you to manage your network on the go, making it easy to keep tabs on what's connected and how much bandwidth each device is using. After logging into the router, you'll notice the dashboard page, which at a glance provides information such as system status, LTE information, and wireless overview if you have the wireless model. Other information on this page is the port status, WAN, and LAN status, as well as WAN usage statistics. Going through the menu options on the left, we have the configuration menu where most of the configuration options are available. That includes physical interface, WAN setup options, LAN options, DNS, wireless LAN options, routing options including RIP, BGP and OSPF, bandwidth management, NAT where you configure any port forwarding, IGMP, objects for the object-oriented firewall, some other LTE options, Wake on LAN, oops, we need to scroll up a bit, notification services so you can get alerts, radius and TAC ACS Plus options, and security certificates. Further down we have security, where you can set up all your firewall filters, including web content filtering, defense setup, MAC filtering profile, IPv6 security, security defense status, and URL or IP lookup. Below this we have the IAM menu, where you can set up identity and access management, which I'll explain a bit more about shortly. So here is where you can create or edit users and groups, create policies, set up resources, there's a hotspot web portal, brute force protection status, and the ability to back up and restore your IAM configuration. Down here is the VPN configuration menu, where you can set up to 4 VPN tunnels, which can be either site-to-site or dial-in teleworkers. The monitoring menu allows you to monitor router status and activity, which sometimes is helpful in troubleshooting network issues. And to help with troubleshooting, the utility menu provides some tools such as ping, traceroute, DNS, and iPerf. The system maintenance menu allows you to configure various management options in the router, as well as updating the router firmware or backing up or restoring the router configuration. And finally at the bottom we have the virtual controller, where you can set up your wireless network or manage an attached DrayTek switch. Okay. As you might have gathered already, the C510 series routers come equipped with an unlocked 4G 5G modem, delivering reliable mobile connectivity across Australia and New Zealand. Its support for both 4G and 5G networks ensures broad coverage, with the supported 5G bands listed here covering most regions in both countries. To configure the LTE connection in the Vigor C510 routers, the dual SIM slot allows you to use 2 mobile network providers, so that in the event that one mobile network fails, the router can switch to the secondary SIM card and its cellular network connection. It's also backwards compatible with 4G LTE if a 5G network is unavailable. To make it work, we first need to attach some antennas. There are 2 LTE antennas in the box, and you'll need to fit them on each side of the router. These are the ones with the rounded tops. The other pointier ones are for the Wi-Fi if you have the 11AX model. Once connected, it should look like this. Now we need to install at least one SIM card. First, remove the cover on the router's rear. Magnetic screwdrivers are handy for this situation, so you don't drop the screws somewhere under the desk. Now remove the SIM card holder by first pushing it in, and it'll pop out. Here's one we installed earlier. Notice the SIM card holder has 2 sides, so we can install 2 nano SIM cards. Let's install a second one from another ISP on the other side. If you're only installing one SIM card, install it into the SIM1 side, which will end up on top. Now carefully insert the carrier back into the SIM slot in the router and refit the SIM card cover. Okay, once you've attached the antennas and installed the SIM cards, you're ready to start configuring the 5G connection. After logging into the router, go to the Configuration WAN Setup menu and select Edit for the WAN 5 Cellular WAN. Make sure it's enabled. Select IPv4 for LTE physical type, then enable SIM1. USB mode in this case is DHCP, so I'll leave it at that. Disable Auto APN if enabled. The APN in this case is Vodafone, which is live.vodafone.com.au. For other ISPs, the APN should be available on their websites if unsure. Incidentally, APN stands for Access Point Name. Network mode we could leave at auto, but we know we have a good 5G signal here, so we'll force it to use 5G only. Same principles for our second SIM. Make sure it's enabled. Disable auto APN if enabled. This one's Telstra, so we'll use telstra.internet as the APN. And we'll also set the network mode to 5G only. Since we have both SIM1 and SIM2 enabled, be aware that SIM1 will be the primary SIM and SIM2 will be the backup when the SIM1 connection goes down. You can't have both SIMs online at the same time and load share them like you could with two Ethernet WAN connections on a 2927 router, for example. And down here we have SIM failover settings, where you can set the fail count threshold before the router fails over to the second SIM card. This bridge option here will disable NAT, so you can use the C510 as an LTE modem only to plug into something like a Vigor 3912S. Keep WAN connection prevents the WAN from dropping due to idle timeout. WAN DNS uses the ISP's DNS if left at auto, or you can manually specify a DNS server. WAN connection detection allows more options for the failover. We'll leave it at the default always on for this demo. And MTU can stay at the default 1500. Finally, click Apply to save the settings. Now wait a couple of minutes for the 5G connection to come up. Then go back to the dashboard and you can check the status of the connection by looking at the WAN status section. For WAN 5, green text and an IP address means we're online. Job done. The integrated 5G LTE modem is a Category 19 device and with carrier aggregation can achieve high-speed mobile broadband connectivity for internet access and VPN. In wireless communication, carrier aggregation is a technique used to increase the data rate per user, whereby multiple frequency blocks are assigned to the same user. As the maximum possible data rate per user is increased, the more frequency blocks are assigned to a user. The theoretical LTE maximum download speed of a Category 19 LTE modem is 1.6 gigabits per second. The table shown here shows expected real-world speeds under ideal conditions. However, actual speeds will vary due to network congestion and signal strength. Here's a quick demonstration of the 5G speed we get at our location in Sydney. Be aware that signal strength and network congestion can vary throughout the day. So let's hop over to Ookla, but there are a lot of these speed testing sites available if you search for speed test. Then just click on Go and wait for it to run its test. Average 73.27 megabits per second for download and 20 milliseconds for ping. Not bad. And for the upload speed, we're getting an average of over 20 megabits per second, which is also pretty acceptable. Let's test our Telstra SIM. Okay, 86.89 megabits per second download and 23.64 megabits per second upload. A bit faster than our Vodafone SIM, but again, signal strength and network congestion will affect things, and that can vary throughout the day. IAM we briefly saw earlier in the router interface. With the DrayOS 5 operating system, these routers are zero trust ready. IAM, Identity and Access Management, is a cybersecurity system that controls user access by managing digital identities, authentication and authorization to ensure correct access to network resources such as applications and devices. With processes that include identifying, authenticating, authorizing users or groups, and assigning appropriate levels of access, IAM enhances both security management and the user experience, playing a crucial role in cloud-based services. This means that the network administrator can set up user accounts and user groups to provide flexible control over access levels. Access can be provided by using an existing external authentication server or multi-factor authentication. Additionally, the network administrator can create access policies for local users. This can be based on a MAC address filter list, allowed blocked user list, or a login session lifetime. Additionally, conditional access policies can be configured to require users to provide multiple forms of authentication before granting access to a resource. This includes specify a period for the user to re-authenticate, restrict access to specific source IP addresses or ranges of IP addresses, specify VLAN-based access level in your conditional policies, set up time schedules when users are allowed to log in. There is more information on the router product page on our website, as well as some webinars we ran not long ago, which I'll leave links to in the description below. Here's a comparison chart with the Vigor C510 on the left compared to the higher end dual WAN routers. As we can see, the 4G and 5G hardware are very similar, offering the same performance. The 2927 and 2865 have other advantages, such as more VPNs if you need those. Finally, here we have a comparison of some of the other features between the Vigor C510 and other 5G router models. Essentially, the 5G feature set is very similar to that of other 5G router models. Where they differ is in features like the number of VPN tunnels and having 2 or more WANs online at the same time, and a whole lot more. Click pause or hit the spacebar if you'd like a longer look. If you're not sure which model you need, please feel welcome to call or email us for advice or comment down below. And we've reached the end of today's session. In summary, we began by providing an overview of the Vigor C510 series routers, briefly highlighting some key features. Then we navigated the router's menu, which displayed the configuration options, followed by a configuration example where we set up a 5G connection. We also looked at the 5G specifications and examined the identity and access management features. And finally, we took a brief look at a comparison between the Vigor C510 and the higher end 5G routers. Okay, that's all for now, but please stay tuned. We'll be answering questions in the live chat on the right of your screen for the next 5 minutes. For more information about DrayTek products, please check out our website at www.draytek.com.au or send us an email to sales@draytek.com.au or give us a call on 02 9838 8899. Please like and subscribe below, and if you'd like a notification anytime we put up a new video, please select all from the subscribe drop-down menu as well. Thanks and bye for now.